Hello, everyone. Okay, let's get the intro up, or at least try to. Hmm. These intros were working a minute ago, but they're not. All right, everybody. This is John, and Constance is going to be joining us here in a brief second. We'll let her get everything set up the way she prefers it, and to make it look the best for us, I guess.
Sure.
All right.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Tonight's guest we have is Will George. He is the owner and founder of Buck and Bass Rain Gear. He's also went into some apparel a little bit.
Oh.
He has sun gloves and sun shirts, and so yeah, we're gonna bring Will in here and give him let him talk about his product and go from there. Sound good?
Mm-hmm. The light is bright.
Okay.
That's good, right?
Hello, Will. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad. This is my wife, Constance.
Hi, nice to meet
How are
you.
you? Hi, nice to meet you.
Good.
So, with everybody, I like to just let them know, don't be afraid to ask questions, because that's one of the things we're here for.
Yeah.
Is to answer questions and go from there. So, Will, you're the founder and owner of Buck and Bass
Yep.
Rain Gear and apparel as well. Would you like to give us a little bit of background on yourself?
Originally from Wyoming. Grew up on ranches my whole life. Absolutely love bass fishing. Remember in the 80s, first time seeing bass fishing on ESPN. It was ESPN. It was one of the classics, and
Okay.
that was really, really, really cool. Never have done a tournament before. I'm nowhere near that level at all. I'm really bad, but I absolutely love it, and went through, growing up and everything. Always had a love for the outdoors and hunting and fishing. And about 5-6 years ago now, I came up with the idea for Buck and Bass. I actually was watching. It was a tournament that was in. It was either St. Clair or it was one of those northern tournaments of the Elite Series. And I was watching it, and the guys were completely. It was pouring down rain, and the guys, the whole tournament, were just talking about how wet they were, And I was like, this makes no sense to me whatsoever. You've got the best rods, the best reels, the best electronics, all this stuff, and yet you're wet. Like, how's that possible? That to me, that was the equivalent of hearing the guys say, like, "Oh, I've got a hole in my boat." It's like, wait, what? What? That just makes no sense. So at that point, I don't have a background in apparel or anything like that. My motto has always been, I'll jump in and figure out how to swim as I go. So on Thanksgiving Day of 2015, I came up with a name. I was listening to Alabama song, Dixieland Delight, and I came up with the name and drew the logo, and then got it trademarked and started from there. And then we started putting our team together, and now we're here. And we spent 4 years of development of the product before we ever released it. We wanted to start with the one product first. That's
Sure.
why we started with just the jacket and bibs to start with. Jacket and bibs just to start with. We wanted to prove to everyone that we could do what no other brand has been able to do, and that's actually keep you dry.
Mm-hmm.
So we launched that about a week before Christmas in 2019, and now we're here.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate the product. You know, I tell everybody about it. I've showed it off to people, and um, it seems like every time I wear it, I find something new on it. You know,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
like I didn't. The one time I came home and I said I didn't realize there was a pocket inside the pocket.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I've had my rain gear fly out of the boat before.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, and so if my phone was in the pocket of the rain gear, it'd be ruined.
Yeah.
Well, with this jacket, you know, I keep it on the inner pocket, zipped up, and it's completely waterproof. So
Yep.
I'm not worried about that, and it's one of the neat things I like about it. There's several things on it, but I'll let you talk about that if you'd like.
Yeah, we spent, like I said, we spent 4 years of R&D and everything on this product, and we started with the material first. That was the fundamental thing that we found that was wrong with everything else that was out there, was the material to start with.
Right.
That's where it all starts, and that's where we started. And we have our iron shell material. That's our proprietary material. It's iron shell. We created, and then we just started from there. And the thing is, the thing you notice, you're like, okay, I love the pockets, I love the inner pocket, all those things. The reason it is the way it is, and the reason that product is so good, is because we designed it with actual tournament anglers. So much of the product that's out there is made for, quote unquote, fishing, and that's great. Like, I love fishing. I've ocean fished before. I've trout fished. I've done all the fishings you can, right? But they're all totally different. They all the product that was out there that was available for all of us as anglers is kind of like if Nike just said, here's a sports shoe. And it's like, okay, well, in football and in basketball, you're both running. So why won't the same shoe work? Well, there's a totally different set of needs and demands and everything. And that's the same with our jacket. Everyone just making a jacket out there or a product out there that's for fishing is it's just that's why all the product, you have problems with it, and because you can't make a sports shoe, because every sport has a different set of needs and demands, and we created this specifically for bass anglers. We have a team of guys. We have an amazing group of guys, and fortunately, I had a lot of friends that are great bass anglers that started this with us, and we all sat down and just everyone contributed. It should be this, it should be that, it shouldn't have that, it shouldn't do that, and then that's why the end result comes out is so good. Is for that reason.
Yeah, and I want to thank Pam Horn, because she's the one who turned me on to it.
Yeah.
I like to give her credit, because
Yeah.
I saw a post she had on there. The best summer rain gear you're gonna find, and I'm like, okay, because I have Gore-Tex, and
Yeah.
since I got the Buck and Bass, that Gore-Tex sits in a closet.
Right where it should be.
Exactly. And my rain gear is big enough to where if I want to go fishing during the winter, I can layer it up, which is nice. Yes.
Good idea. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So when you talk about the rain gear with the fishermen in mind and the bass fishermen, tournament fishermen, another thing that really, as a co-angler, shocked me was I could ride with the hood up and not have any stress on my neck and wear my hat.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk a little bit about that, or?
Yeah. So we've got 4 patents on our jacket and bibs, and one of them is that patented full throttle hood, which allows you to run wide open. And this is one of those things, reverting back to the last question you asked, this is one of those things that bass fishing is unique in that regard, to where other forms of fishing aren't doing that. And no other form of fishing. I mean, bass fishing is NASCAR on water. You're running wide open, 70, sometimes 80 miles an hour down the lake.
Right.
And you need to have protection. You need to be able to, you need to be able to have your gear and not think about your gear. That's the bottom line. Our gear allows you not to have to think about your gear and allows you to think about what you're out there to do, and that's catch fish, bottom line. So our patented full throttle hood allows you to run wide open down the lake with a hat or without a hat, with a complete unobstructed field of vision. And it's amazing because it allows you, you're fishing your spot. You need to run from point A to point B. You can keep your hat on, you can keep your hood on, you're staying wind protected, you're staying water protected, all those elements. And you're not having to do so many times when I would go to, even today, I've seen it. I was at the Classic 2 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And I saw guys on the second morning when it was raining taking off. And before they took off, they had to take off their hood and take off their hat before they went running. And that's embarrassing.
Yeah. And, it's I can't stop saying so many positive things about it. I don't fish as much as they do. Not that I wouldn't mind it, but just the comfort factor, and the confidence factor I have in it. The longest ride I've taken was almost 2 hours in a bass boat on the St. Lawrence, and it was like an hour and 45 minutes. And back then I had Vortex, and I couldn't do anything for the first 5 to 10 minutes that I was there because my neck was hurting so bad.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because the hood filled up. And
it's for so long. You guys as anglers have, for whatever reason, this one. So if you look back at just bass fishing as a whole, like from the inception of the sport until now, everything has progressed. The boats have gotten better. The electronics have gotten insane. Like the electronics are so good. The rods have gotten better. The reels have gotten better. The baits have gotten better. You name it, everything's gotten better except outerwear. Outerwear has stayed like this the entire time. And it's just insane. Like, it was just insane to me to see this one facet of this amazing sport not being progressed or not being challenged or not being pushed or not being educated. None of those things. And until us.
Yeah. Well, I have a question for flying down on the water. What happens with that amazing beard of yours? Does it get like windblown or?
I'm always a mess, so it doesn't really matter at that point.
Yeah, I don't have that problem, so I'm good there. And for those of you who don't have this rain suit, I had it on.
You need one.
Yes, that is 100%. I had it on this past weekend.
I almost took one when I was going to work.
Yeah, you needed it the other day. I was on Honeoye Lake, small lake up by me, and it looked like it was going to rain all day. And most of the day I had it on. It was like 80-something degrees. And with that ventilated back, I stayed nice and I wasn't cold, but I was comfortable. I didn't sweat or anything.
Yeah, that's another one of our patent. That's our patent design casting comfort system, because that was, when it goes back to the material, you're talking about the material. So bass fishing is a non-aerobic sport, there's not a lot of, it's not like running or playing basketball or something with a lot of movement and aerobic type exercise. It's not like that at all. Bass fishing is very sedentary, yet you have, spurts of movement when it's casting, setting the hook, what have you. So we forgo the breathability on the material and created that vent in the back, which acts like an exhaust on a pickup truck, where it inhales and exhales with your body movement. So when you're running down the lake, it's monitoring, it's keeping your body temperature in. But when you're setting the casting, setting the hook, etc., it's acting like an exhaust and allowing you to breathe that way, while maintaining the appropriate waterproofness.
Very cool. And another famous beardsman here, MC Norris, He said beards do get crazy on the water.
Yes.
Should have a beard off between the two of them. Which one's the longest?
Right.
I'm just jealous. I can't grow it.
Well, I kind of prefer you not growing a beard,
Well,
but honestly.
well, me
but-
too.
if you had a beard, you'd be in the circus.
Right? Probably making some buco bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tan and bearded lady.
Yeah.
Oh, get some Miracle Grow or something,
Yeah, man.
or Bosley for men. Yes. So
Threw you off with the beards, huh?
I did. You did throw me off.
No,
I
you're
had a
talking
question.
about the breathability for the
Yeah, it's just so comfortable. Gore-Tex, you wear it, and if it's a summer day, you're sweating half a day, and that can take a lot of the concentration away from
Yeah.
you. And a lot of fishing is concentration.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it allows you to, again, the biggest thing about our product is it allows you to do what you're out there to do, and that's fish and focus on the fishing. I had in our journey to get to where we're at today in our creating of this product, I had seen so many people that between their truck, their boat, their rods, their reels, all their equipment, all the electronics, everything, the tournament entry fees, they were running down the road like 100 to 150 grand before they ever even touched the water. And then now you're spending the money to enter a tournament. And it was crazy to me that I would see people coming in early. I've been to tournaments before where I've literally seen people come in early because they were wet and cold or shaking or just miserable. And I'm like, what's the point of having all that equipment, all that gear to get you that far and then have to come in just simply because you wanted to save $200 or you had the wrong gear or any of those things? It's insane. It's completely insane to go. It's like doing a marathon and tripping over your shoelaces because you didn't tie your shoe at the starting line and you're right at the finish. It's like, just take care of that one facet and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah. You want to ask any questions?
You just want me to ask me
Yep.
a question, don't you?
Yep. Get it out.
All
of
right.
way.
What is your favorite homemade cookie? The only non-fishing that asked, I'm sure.
It's chocolate chip, and actually, so a good friend of mine, him and his family, the name Caden Tanner. He's going to be doing the Opens next year. He's an up and coming angler in Texas. His mom, Kelly, makes the most amazing brownies and cookies, and I've got a major sweet tooth, and I love sweets. And when we were at the Classic, because the Classic wasn't too far from where they live in Texas, and she made us a bunch of cookies and brownies and everything. But yeah, to answer your question, chocolate chip cookies. That's my favorite.
Okay.
That sounds like you were well fed that day, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, cookies, cupcakes, pop cakes. Like I'm all in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when you come to New York, you'll probably have some cookies and stuff like that. So
Yep.
Oh, good.
Cupcakes,
Yeah.
homemade ice cream, all of
Oh, that sounds so good.
it.
Yeah, she just made some black raspberry. Yeah.
Yep.
Black raspberry.
Just put it in the freezer a couple days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. There's so many positive things about the rain suit. I have not found a negative one yet. So
I would say more
It's-
colors.
yeah, that's one of the things I heard
That
was
would be it, though.
yeah.
That's like nitpicking, though.
Yeah. One guy says they need to come out with a lime green or a bright green so people could see it. And,
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure that material probably couldn't get in.
No,
crazy
we could do any color we want.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could do anything, but it's just, I mean, I think you're a friend that wants to look in lime green. I don't know how many people want to look in lime green, so I don't know.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of years ago, I'd have been all right with it, but you know. So, and you say you built it for bass fishermen,
Yep.
mainly, but it's also good for fly fishermen because of the sleeves.
Yeah, so that's our patented dry lock cuff. It allows you to, whether you're fishing all day, whether you're calling, reaching over the gunnel, whatever you're doing, you have that cinched down correctly. You will not get one drop of water up your sleeve, and that was one of those things where it's more annoying than anything else. It's that water, because you know how it starts here, it gets on your sweatshirt, and it starts soaking up your sleeve, and then it's just so annoying. And the thing about our jacket and bibs, there's a ton of, I know a ton of saltwater anglers. There's a ton of, different people, commercial anglers that are wearing our suit. It has an immense amount of applications that you can wear it in. I mean, we designed it specifically for bass fishermen, yet the problems that we solved translate exceptionally well to all other forms. So it's easier to the things that we solve for bass fishing and the problems that we solved, those then are able to translate into like you said, like the fly fishing or the commercial fishermen. I mean, I know commercial fishermen in Alaska, Oregon, Hawaii, and Florida, and then one in California that are currently wearing our jacket and bibs because they're out in really rough seas and big waves and everything, and they're coming in at the end of the day dry, which is incredible.
Yeah, it is. MC Norris has a question about the material of it. He says, is it tough material? I do a lot of bank fishing, and I've used a few brands to stay dry. I at times have to hike through brush to get to a prime spot, and rain suits I've worn before tear very easily.
Yeah, so to answer your question, we have there's a commercial fisherman that's out of Sitka, Alaska, that's been wearing our suit for almost a year and a half now, and I can send all the info to John. I'll text him and he can get it to you so you can see this and verify it. So this guy I know, he had this. He contacted me about a year and a half ago. And he said, hey, I've seen your suit. I want to try it out. And I told him point blank, I said, look, I don't know how it's going to work for you. You're in Alaska, you're a commercial fisherman. That's a whole nother world. And he said, look, I've used everything. I just want to try it. I said, okay, cool, go ahead. So I didn't hear from him for about 6 months. And then he sent me these text messages. And the text messages that I have, I screenshot, I can send them to John for you to see. When you talk about the durability, this is somebody that is dealing with huge trot lines for halibut and the huge hooks and everything, and working on the side of the boat in extremely rough, Alaskan conditions with salt water, big hooks and everything. And he had, and the text message you can see, nothing happened to his jacket. He took one hook, and those hooks are huge. He took one to the like his hip area, and he had a little nick in his jacket about that big. That was it. Everything else, no rips, no tears, no. I mean, he still was like so much rubbing and abrasion and everything. So to answer your question, the application which you're using it for, walking through in the woods and the brush and everything like that, you're going to be fine.
Okay. Thank you for the question and the great answer.
Those are my dried roses, honey. All right, let's go get you a snack.
I drew a blank on the question I was about to ask you. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Whoa, there's a big jump.
Bibs.
Yep.
Okay, and one of the things I'm truly impressed with the bibs is how they connect the latches,
Oh yeah.
the magnetic latches.
Yep, yep. The snaps.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Those are a magnetic system, which allows you. It's one of those things that's it's better to see than talk about. Talking about it kind of I don't think it does it justice, and it might be a little hard to explain. But when you see it in person, we got rid of those antiquated, big, out of date plastic uh, snaps that all bibs have had for the beginning of time. And we have a magnetic system on it now, which is incredible. It allows you to get in and out with like a snap of a finger, and
Yeah.
that they are incredible and so user friendly, and so they're amazing.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
I, the first time when I got mine, I'm like, well, how do I get in them?
yeah,
And then I saw the string or the loop on it to pull it, and it was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
that makes complete sense.
yeah.
You're definitely an innovator in the field, with all the new things you've done with the hood, the snaps, and the zippers. They're phenomenal. I've shown a couple people that work in that industry, and they're like, John, he's using top end zippers.
Yeah.
In material. They can't get over it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, we like I said, I necessarily didn't start, like, my main driving force behind this was the product. It wasn't money or business or any of those things. The driving force behind this was creating the right product, because it was frustrating to me. I had bought other brand suits and they had completely failed, and it was just unacceptable. So to me, I wanted to solve the problem. I knew we could, and I believed we could, and we have. So when you're talking about, the zippers or the material or anything like that, it's about the product. In this conversation we're having right here, where you're saying like, oh, it's the best there is and what have you. That's why we started. Like, that's what you guys deserve. That's what we all deserve. We should have that, because other sports, if you look at other sports, they've got the appropriate equipment. They have the right gear. And bass fishing forever has not. Bass fishing has the right boats, the rods, reels, etc., electronics, all that stuff. But the rain gear or technical outerwear has not been the right gear until now.
Yeah. The ease of cleaning is one of the things I like, because I'm not one of, like, with my old rain suits, you got to send them in or send them to a dry cleaner.
Yep.
These you can just put in the laundry and in the wash machine.
Yeah, a lot of times people, don't even wash it. They can literally just hose it off. If you've got like blood or grime or mud on it or something like that, most people just hose it off outside with the hose. You can wash it. You can wash it though. You can throw it in the washing machine. The wash instructions are on the tag, but gentle cycle, don't put regular detergent or bleach or anything like that, and then hang dry. So it's great, because our material as well, it isn't a spray or anything like that. It's actually the material itself, so it's not required for constant applications or anything like that. Or I know numerous other brands where if you wash it one time, it's just dead.
Right.
Our iron material is not like that at all.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes, and I know with some of the rain gear, if you wash them, it voids the warranty and things like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Some of the ones I've had in the past.
Yeah, we have a lifetime warranty on our gear as well. So I always, best kind of way to explain the warranty is, if it's something on us, we take care of it for life. If it's leaks, fails, zipper, seam, just anything. If it's our fault, we take care of it.
Right.
If it's your fault, if you're like, hey, I was driving down the road and it fell out of the back of the boat and a semi ran it over and burned out on it, and it's like, well, that kind of is your fault. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like if it's our fault, we cover it for life.
Mhm.
Excellent. And that, knowing that right there is a big thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially nowadays, everybody's trying to get out of the warranty and stuff like that because of the economics of it. But
Yeah.
no, I'm glad that you have a great product, which you probably don't even get many back, if at all, because the product is exceptional.
Well, I will talk a lot of trash per se, but if I'm talking trash, I'm backing it up. So
Right.
the reason we have that lifetime warranty is because our gear is the best. At the end of the day, the gear is made by human beings.
Right.
Stuff can happen. It's just nature. Like it'll like something will happen, right?
Right.
But we back it up. You get what you pay for. You're buying the best product on the planet, and we back it up. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So how many people are on your team? You said you had a team of people working for you. So like is like one, are you like you the idea guy and then someone else like does a production? How's it go?
Well, I'm sort of I mean, we've got an amazing, we wouldn't be here without our team, yet I'm also kind of one man show as well, where like I was just telling John before we started, I do all the shipping and everything. I'm the ideas guy, creative guy, whatever you want to call it, guy. I don't know what the title is, but yeah, I just it's me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We talk so much about your rain gear because that's what actually got you out, and you're coming out with some new products.
Yeah,
that you
we have.
just
We just introduced it. It was came out last month at the Classic. It's our new sun top. It's the Delta sun top and the Barrick face shield and the new Racing gloves. It's all UPF summer gear. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible gear. And like, for example, on the sun top and the face shield, we created the material for it. It's insanely lightweight. The material, the biggest thing about it is when you're in spring, late spring, early summer fishing like now, it's hot, it's humid, and this material does not stick to your skin.
I was just about to ask, does it cling to you? Yeah, okay.
No, it does not stick to your skin. It's amazing. It's so breathable. It's UPF 55, so all day sun protection. It has our patented full throttle hood on it, so you can run wide open in the summer with that hood on and protecting your ears and your head and your neck from the sun. Because I saw so many guys that would have their sun shirts on, and before they'd run, they'd have to take their hood off and their hat off, and their head is just getting fried while you're running. It was like, what's the point of that sun shirt if you can't wear it the whole time? So we have our patented full throttle hood on the sun shirt. The face shield is incredible. Same material on both the face shield and the face shield. One of the amazing things is we created it. It doesn't fog your glasses. So you can wear it all day and it will not fog. The sun shirt and face shield as well. The material will stretch, yet it won't stretch out. So you can get it wet. It can rain on it, whatever. You can be calling fish and get your sleeves wet, and it'll stretch, but it won't sag out. Those sometimes you get those saggy sleeves or whatever. This does not do that at all. So it stretches but won't sag out, and then it's just an amazing, amazing product. It's on the same parallel, same level of what our rain jacket is and bibs, yet for summer gear.
Huh. Wow. Are you getting any of that?
Yeah,
well, it's one of those things too. It's you're like, okay, rain gear, like, yeah, I need to get the right rain gear, and you get it, and you're like, yeah, I can tell this is vastly superior.
Right.
Sun tops are one of those things you're like, I got a sun top, it's no big deal, blah blah. Until you have ours on, then you won't realize how bad yours is until you have ours on.
Uh,
And it's
I'm
and another thing is the hoods. So many of the hoods of all the other sun tops that are out there, they use what's called a blank, where it's a one size hood fits all. So a size 2X will be the same size hood as like a medium. And that's why you get
Yeah.
these big oversized floppy hoods. All of our hoods are a size medium has a medium hood, large, extra. So it has an appropriate, that's why the hoods are
Right.
appropriately fitted. And they don't pull, they don't weigh you down. You can have them on with your hat and they're not pulling your hat down. None of those things. Again, until you have our sun top on, you won't realize what you were missing. It's one of those things, you have it and you're like, okay, and you get ours on and you're like, okay, I'm never going back. This is amazing.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of surprised, like you're saying that the hood it'll still like stay up.
Yeah.
For it being so lightweight, that's one of those things. Like, I mean, I believe you, but it's like, really? And it's
Yeah,
so lightweight.
I'll send John I think I've shown him the video already, but we have video. It's on our social media, our Instagram,
Oh, cool. All right.
Okay.
everything. So you can see it. Just ran wide open he's going Bryant Smith is in the video. He's going 73 miles an hour with his sun shirt on, with a hat on, and the hat's not flap, it's just not even moving.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Boy, what about the gloves? Same
Yeah, the
same
glove-
material?
Yeah,
The
same
gloves?
too. We create. Yeah, it's our Race Same gloves. The gloves are really exciting because the summertime gloves, and we created a connecting palm system where you put your hands together like this and it forms our logo in your palms. We removed all the unnecessary things that are on sun gloves, like leather, like suede leather. For some reason, everyone thinks they've got to have suede on their gloves.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I know why they do it, because we've been conditioned that if something has suede, that it's nice. Our mind's like, oh, it's leather, it's got to be nice. It's got to be nice.
Oh, I see.
It's completely pointless and useless, and I mean, it's silly. So our gloves don't have any of that. They're UV 55 sun protection, which is first and foremost. The fit on them's amazing. The grip on them's incredible. So you can be calling or the touch, the feel on them's amazing. You can have wet hands and you go to grip your steering wheel or your rod or anything, and they grip exceptionally well, which is very vital for safety and other facets when in summertime fishing.
Now, are these like they're full finger gloves, or are some of them fingerless gloves?
No,
Like,
these are the ones I'm speaking of right now are summer gloves. They have open fingers. They're from like,
okay, all right,
yeah, they're summer gloves.
okay.
Yep.
Some are there, some aren't.
Some are there, some aren't. So I'm not a fisherman, so I don't know. But actually, the first thing that came to my mind when you said like summer gloves, I was like, oh my gosh, for like gardening or whatever. I know that's not what it's for, but like, you know, I was like, picture mom in the yard, like picking her weeds around her flowers, you know. Like, she'd probably get a kick out of those, but no, and I'm, you know,
Yeah.
You'd be sunburning your hands while you're gardening.
Right. And for those of you guys who are going to listen to this on the podcast, we're with Will George with Buck and Bass rain gear, or shouldn't just call them rain gear anymore, right? Be more.
Just call it Buck and Bass.
There you go, Buck and Bass. And
Yes.
if you want more information, you can check out the website at www.buckandbass.com. So I just want to let them know, because we do have this going out on 8 different podcast channels, just audio. So, all right, I just want to throw that in for them. I've not heard one negative thing about it, about your rain gear, your clothing, or anything, which is hard for me to fathom that, you know, with you know, it's out there. It's not like I'm the only one that has it, you know.
Yeah, no.
It's out there.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody you talk to loves it.
The only complaint you're going to hear from people are from people that don't have it.
Right.
That's your only. You'll hear somebody complain about, oh, it's too expensive or it's too expensive. That's the only complaint you'll ever hear about us. And every single of those people that are complaining don't have the product.
Right. And they're the ones that are having $75,000 boats.
Yeah, every single person that has our product, you will never hear one complaint out of them, period. And the only complaints you will ever hear from us or see from people or whatever are people that are saying like, oh, it's too expensive, I'm not going to buy it, this and that. And it's like, oh, then stay wet. I don't care. Like, you get what you pay for.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
know,
Yeah.
you're not going to go to a Mercedes dealer and expect to,
Pay Ford prices.
right?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's
Yeah.
cliche or whatever. You get what you pay for. Bottom line, if you don't mind being wet and you don't mind having bulky, inferior product, like, go ahead, buy someone else's gear. It's not going to hurt my feelings. If you want the best gear and you want to stay dry, undeniably dry, I don't care if it's in a hurricane. I don't care. Warranty. There's only one suit to get.
Yeah.
I was about to say that too. That lifetime warranty, like, how can you really go wrong? You know?
Yeah. Is that us that froze or him?
Oh,
I
I think he might have frozen.
I think it was you guys.
Oh, okay.
No, it was. Mine's still playing us.
Okay. We're not sure exactly what or who's freezing. So, what we'll do is, is there anything else you want to say? Because they'll be able to hear it on the podcast. Is there anything else you want to say?
No,
and
just
talk about?
if you want the best gear on the planet, specifically made for bass fishing, go to buckandbass.com or go to our Instagram, just Buck and Bass, and check us out. And we have the best gear on the planet, and that's backed up with a lifetime warranty. And check us out. Any questions you have, send an email. I will be happy to answer any questions. I don't even care. John's got my cell phone number. You can get my cell phone number. You can call me. You can ask me anything you want. I will answer your question.
Yes, and
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I like about it, because before I got one, we had quite a dialogue about it, and
yeah. Well,
so
the biggest thing with us is education.
Mm-hmm.
So many of the products out there are just a jacket that leaks. That's all it is. The word waterproof is very liberally used in this. I mean, it's just all it is a jacket that leaks. That's it. Our product, the biggest thing around it is the education, and it's educating of why we're better, why it's different, why, and how, and all those things. So that's our biggest thing. So that's why I make myself available for anyone who wants to talk, ask questions, or any of those things. And like I was saying about the people talking about the price thing, they just see a price tag and they're thinking, well, my jacket from brand X, right, sucks. So why is this going to be ever any different? And it's like, well, if you sit down and talk to me and ask me, or ask someone who has it, they will be able to articulate to you in such a way that you'll understand that you are getting what you pay for and you're buying the best product on the market, hands down.
Yeah, I'll have to second that. You know, being a co-angler, most of the bass tournaments I go to, it's one console.
Yep.
You know, so I'm getting the blunt of the wind, the rain, and everything.
Yeah.
And just like I said before, you know, being able to have that hood up, running down the lake, and not putting all the stress on my neck.
Yeah.
It's just incredible, because I can get there, and you know, if I'm traveling 20 minutes or an hour and a half, when I get to the spot, I can stand up and fish.
Yep.
Not sit there and stretch out like my neck, and wish I had a masseuse on the boat. Well, maybe I do. I mean, I wouldn't turn down the masseuse either, but you know, absolutely great. And I know if you see one of your pro staff guys, they'll be more than willing to help you out.
Absolutely.
Answer questions. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, Well, we'll let you go. I appreciate everything you're doing. Keep up the great work, the great product.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I love the product. And look forward to meeting you in person someday.
Yep, for sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome, Will.
Absolutely.
Well, you
Thanks for
take care.
joining us.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Take care, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Landra just gave me some fruit snacks.
Yeah, nice.
Mhm.
All right, everybody. That was Will George with the Buck and Bass gear. Buckandbass.com. If you have any questions, don't be afraid. You can always shoot me a message, or you can just
I can't open it. No snacks for me.
or you can just go over to the buckandbass.com, Instagram, Facebook, or shoot them a message, and he'll be more than willing to help you out. And like I said a couple minutes ago, before I got my rain gear, I spent probably 2 weeks talking to him via text, just to find out, because it's not a $25 rain suit. But it's well worth it. If you're out there fishing, if you're a guide especially, take the tax write-off. Use it. It's equipment. If you know a guide that's looking for the best rain gear out there, I know I don't try not to say the best rain gear, best of anything out there, but I truly believe it is. By far, I mean, I've used some of the main manufacturers' rain suits, and this is by far the best one that I've ever used. So if there's any questions, contact me, contact Will, contact them on their Instagram page, or shoot me a message. All right. Anybody have any questions for me, Constance? Anything?
Bueller.
What's that?
Bueller.
Oh.
Said, learn how well they work on motorcycles in the rain. I was almost going to ask that too, because in the rain on a motorcycle is freaking brutal. But I mean, I would assume so, but I don't know if the hood would be. I mean, obviously you wear it under your helmet.
Mm-hmm. And I think
is it? I mean, it's pretty thick. Because the thing is that like the rain suits that you wear on motorcycles are quite thin. You could still feel that rain hitting you like little needles.
Yeah, I going down the lake, and I mean, at 65, 70 miles an hour,
which is about the same. I mean,
right.
No, I would never go above the speed limit on my motorcycle.
And I know Rob would, because Rob's a careful guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
But yeah, I mean, Rob, we can go over to his page and ask him.
And what I thought about first for the motorcycle, like Rob was talking about, is when you're talking about the venting, when he said it's like an exhaust.
Yep.
Because I remember it's like some of my motorcycles. I don't have a motorcycle anymore, but they have vents in the front and the back.
Mm-hmm.
So it just goes right through inside your jacket, like puffing up. So that's what I thought of too when he was talking about how it's ventilated. Usually you go speed limit.
Yeah, unless
just between us friends, right? But no, that's a good question. Maybe you can reach out to him and ask him.
We'll figure something out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well,
wait, what kind of motorcycle do you have?
Harley.
Nice.
I think.
I would guess 90%. Boots full of water is never fun. Oh yeah.
Don't wear them.
I never had that though. I always had my rain suit on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my suit's back there, but it won't be easy to show. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Soft tail, yep. Sorry.
I kind of knew that.
I had a Honda Nighthawk, so.
I kind of knew that because I saw some pictures of him outside the Harley.
Oh, wow.
But everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for the questions. Rob, I'll get with you about your question too.
Yeah.
And everybody, thank you very much for joining.
Yeah.
If you're out there going to go fishing, take a friend with you. And if you get a chance, take a kid. And always, always, always wear your life vest.
Bring your rain gear.
Rain gear. Yeah, I always bring my rain gear.
Yeah, no matter what, because you never know.
Yeah.
Especially in New York.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
And your sunscreen. So.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great night. Be safe. Have a good weekend. If you're out there fishing, be safe.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Take care. And don't work too hard.